Uh, Good morning, everybody. I just want to kind of come out here, and I was doing some hard thinking. Well, not hard thinking, but uh, just some things. When I was still kind of awake, not fully asleep, kind of wondering how to go about something that my wife's wanting for a long, long time. Not only us, but probably other people too. And like this video alludes to, I'm gonna try to do an out loud prayer out here. I don't want any rude comments. Um, I've already said everything out here, but you know, I I did this in my apartment, 10 years ago prior, and it took about a year and a half. And what was strange was the exact time frame, the exact name that I mentioned, which was the name Jessica, which is two of the big things I can remember. Plus, I mentioned, I want somebody that had something in common, that had something in common with. Well, little did I know that not only did my wife, Jessica, have that name, but it means a message from God. And that she literally has almost everything that you could want that I have that I like in common, from the music to most of what me or her eats to most of the things that I grew up on. She's as close as I've ever come to, you know, uh, in reality of ever having anybody even close to do anything with. That you know, and it's so easy to get along with. I mean, as I've stated, before I get started on prayer, I just want to kind of go over a couple things. But you know, I've stated, stuff in the past, what's happened. I'm letting this go today. I'm going to help my wife with it. But I told her if we're ever to make headway to what we hope to have, we got to let the past go. You know, it does no good to hold on to family when they don't want to hold on to you anymore, and when they don't want anything to do with you anymore. You got to let all that go. So I thought, it's near it's near the holiday season, and usually stuff happens, you know, fairly good around this time, usually for most people. So, you know, uh, I just want to say that. But no, uh, my prayer is not going to be like a literal prayer, like in normalcy, so everybody knows. But uh, God, you know what me and my wife wants. I've mentioned this many times. You know, I'm not the most religious person at at all, as you know, and I've stated this 10 years ago. You know, I know my dad's up there watching. He made sure the Braves won this year. I could feel him. I could feel Hank and all these people. Watching the Braves. We're always the underdog team, and you know, put a smile on me and my wife's face. I never was so happy to see that. Um, but anyway, back to what we're going to pray about. I just want to mention that God that makes me feel good, and to see that there's a lot of people out in this world that may have never heard of me or my wife, may not know who we are, why we're here. A lot of portions of the time we don't get on here because people just don't know how to. you know, do or say anything anymore. But I slept on it last night. And my wife said, Derek, work some of your magic, work, you know, do something that, you know, she says, I believe in you. So, and in a way, I'm coming to you again in a similar stance, but I'm going to do this out here on live video. And as I said earlier, it's not just for me or my wife. This is for anybody that might want a job, anybody that it might not be a person. In our position, it's uh, a female bestie. But in some other cases, it could be a job. It could be, somebody else out there could want a, a significant other, or just a cat or dog or something. So in a way, this is for anybody who wants anything special. I normally don't get all good feel and stuff around the holidays anymore, but me and my wife have just been through, as you know, a lot of stuff. Yes, it's kind of been topsy turvy, up and down, and mostly down, but you know, um, it's just not, for some reason or another. And I want to be nice and say that yes, all the ones usually on the internet that we've tried, my wife mentioned earlier, but yeah, they're these people aren't to be trusted. I didn't find the first special person this way, my wife, and I certainly ain't found nothing since about 4 years ago. Why that didn't work, I don't know. I mean, the only thing I can tell you is I wouldn't have been doing some of the things that she chose to do in regard to the situation that she got herself in. But I want to let all that go, give this to you, and to you, I'm gonna pray about like I did last time. I don't care what color they are. I don't care where they came from, but I don't care for at the house, for at the store, she's at church, or whatever it might be. I have my reasons not going in those churches, and half the time I don't get what I would like to get out of church. As you know, nobody's perfect down here at the church, and I'm not saying I am either, but I'd like to know a lot more than what these people down here are telling. It's hard to do it the way they do it. They just tell certain things and do two or three little verses and stuff. And it just doesn't. It doesn't do me any good, you know. But I know that if we turn this corner and went to you and asked, you and Danny up there to, you know, I know because Danny knows, I feel him more regularly here at the house. Um, I can tell he spiritually watches over some everything. I just, me and my wife wanted to come out, and I certainly do, and I wanted to pray that, one of these days that, no matter the color, no matter, you know, I just, like I said, somebody in our age group, 20s, 30s, something like that, slim to an average body type, somebody we go play sports with, somebody we could have our music, the type of music we like, and she collects, her dolls and things. Somebody she could do some art stuff with. We go, maybe they have a car, maybe they don't. Maybe they have a job, maybe they don't. But we need somebody on our level And most of these people out here, out in Decatur, Tennessee, are not on our level. And my wife brought up a good point. Yes, everybody that has God, as you know, I have had to do things I'm not so proud of, but in large part, it was out of my hands. I couldn't help that they didn't want to fly the way we want them to fly or go the way we want them to go. I didn't have everything I have here now. I've got an idea and what me and my wife would like to see start over, have a new family of people. Our own families are dying out, they're going away, they're getting older, they're getting where they don't want anybody around them, they're getting grumpy and they're just setting in their ways, and I don't like to see people like that. You know, I think it would be a very cool thing, whether they had kids or not. You know, if there's a lady out there with kids, without kids, as long as she's single, and we can make things work. And good kids is always the kind I hope for, if there's any kids involved, because I'm old fashioned when it comes to a lot of things, and my wife is kind of too. We wasn't born in this new age era and the new technology stuff. We try to put up with it best we can. As I said, sometimes things are, new, as we know, are good today than they were then in certain aspects. In a lot of cases, I could beg to differ. You know, um, but anyway, um, I could beg to differ on that. But hopefully, in time, you know, whenever you can, and you pick out whoever matches what we're hopeful for, and just that they have a good, something about them, a good inside to them. The outside is part of the attraction, as everybody knows, but we gotta have the inside. You know, we can have, like I've said before, me and my wife's mentioned it before. We can have a few disagreements here and there, and we can have a few up or down moments, but we need somebody that can, say, hey, we just had a bad moment, we just had a bad this or that. Somebody we can, when we have one of those moments, we can come out and sit down and talk about it. And we don't feel like they want to run or my wife wants to run. We know we could sit down there and talk this out, you know, and at the end of the day, we get to spend the rest of our life with whoever this person has as family. We could, kind of adopt them as our own mom and dads or whatever they have. You know, it would be kind of cool just to have a fresh start. You know, get to go maybe do some simple things with some trips. Like I said, somebody we could cuddle with a little bit, may and have the ability to give them a hug or a kiss or something. And somebody, to wake up to every morning and smile, know that, we're just simple people. We don't have a lot, no cars, don't have a lot of money. We need somebody that appreciates that. We don't need everybody worried about, we don't need this person to be worried about the, you know, exes and all that kind of stuff and other things and self promoting their friends and all that stuff. We need somebody that actually has some things, like that, but does them in a way that is respectful and not over the top. You know, if they, and then when they tell them about me or my wife, that me or my wife feel like somebody that would feel special, you know. And God, I just haven't seen it in a while, you know. Haven't seen it, you know. I and my wife's, come this far, and I don't want to see her sitting here or I sitting here, either one of us, till we're old and gray, and or however we turn out. But I want us to be able to get out there and do something a little bit. I've tried jobs. Me and her's tried that. It don't work, you know. But, you know, if there's somebody that honestly can turn this thing around, it's you. I mean, if they like to go to church, well, we can try to make all that work. I can try. I just don't like this one down here, really, because, I mean, a lot of people get on my nerves. But, another church somewhere else might not be a bad deal. And Fair can try it if he's never tried it before, I guess, Go with it, because it's all we got left. I mean, you got to try some things, you got to bend. I mean, I would much rather do what I'm doing now and do it at home and have my own church service if it was up to me. But I know a lot of people get where that's, traditional for them. So yeah, maybe somebody like, I mean, like I said, it don't have to seem like you have to go all the time, but somebody that goes enough that you get something out of it. It's not like, I don't think you're important. It's just, it bothers me that there's not enough out here, these people, to get out here and explain more. Pastors, I've said before, they get in there and they worry about what they've done during the week. They worry about how many sins somebody's committed in the week. They worry about, they worry about where they going, what time it is, when their next meal's coming. If it gets around 12 o'clock, they're all ready to go. It just, they sing the same 4 or 5 songs. There's a lot of things that bug me, as you know. But if Fire could find something, even if they wasn't the most religious person, even if they had some beliefs like I do and had, some knowledge, better than none. But even if, it wasn't the most perfect fit, but it was somebody that matched our description and it had the stuff that we could have in common. And yeah, they may get upset a little bit, but at least it'd be somebody you could, tell them, hey, everything's all right, and they could move on. They could move on with us, and we could put that away, whatever that might be. It may be somebody that's had a little bit of some rough treatment or had something, but happened to them. But maybe they're more capable than this Susan we had out here. You know, maybe you and Danny can find a way to uh, find it for us. That and for other people that may be out there just like me or my wife might be struggling and might have some troubles that they're going through, whatever. Because it does no good to carry grudges around and hold all this old stuff. It just stresses people out. When I did this and my wife come, everybody was so shocked. You know, especially my dad, because he's like, "Well, Derek, you was right." And I never told anybody that I really prayed about it and put it in your hands or whatever. But that I kept it to myself because you know it was for me. It wasn't for anybody else. If it was up to everybody else, of course, they would just rather see me not have anybody else or have anybody at all. Let's say it that way. But you saw to it. Me and my wife met. Like I said, I've done everything else, played everybody's cards of that's my wife's thrown in front of me, that's been thrown in front of her. We've tried it on both ends, family side of things, her friends side of things, my friends side of things, people that comes up out here that's not not anything we can put up with. We want to belong to somebody good that but not only take care of what they know they had before, but be able to take care of people like us and be able to appreciate us, and we'd be able to make things right in the way that wouldn't be too hard for most people to understand. If they paid for a dinner one time, we'll pay for the next. Whoever's turn it is, we make things right. Just to me, it's not about the money. It's not about you know big things. The small things and the things that are most important are things that your eyes can't see most of the time. A good portion of the time, that's how relationships last. And my wife and I just don't have anywhere else to turn, and we don't have anywhere else to go. So like I said, it's just gonna be simple. We can wait this thing out. We waited this long. I've got stuff here and a special ring that me and my wife bought. We'd like to see somebody somebody that deserves it, somebody that has uh, you know the true meaning of love and knows how to love another couple like us. Like I said, me and my wife, we put it out before, but you know, we just want to kind of like in the way of kind of like adopt somebody, but not go through all the stuff in real life with adoption, but like have somebody that we can say is like a big sister or a daughter to us or something. And we could, she could call us the same if she wants, mom and dad or whatever. But it would feel nice to have something kind of special, like this that not many people probably pray for, not ask for. But, you know, it's time to kind of just put things away, put things aside. You know, we've gotten our feelings out. Everybody knows, everybody's viewed or is going to view some of these things. And yes, they're a little, they're not as, some people can't tolerate some things, as much as I can. But, you know, I'm not going to make one of these videos again. I'm not going to do one of those videos, just going to put the family stuff away and move on and let God and my dad take over from here. I know my dad knows there might be a person out there that he can touch. Sometimes I've had things happen to us, we didn't ask for it, paid for it, and all that sort of stuff. So I know I know, God, you could pull us out of this one and put us somewhere where we can be happy. Make sure they have a place, somewhere for us to go so we can get moved. And because, anybody of human nature on this earth right now, that my wife goes to these places, they're happy. They've already got things. They're not looking for this type of thing that we're looking for. And I hope by, coming out here and admitting some things, it's not always perfect. I've never been perfect at churches and things. And I've been quiet, and not, you know, I don't do a lot of what they call fellowship there. But when I'm talked to, I talk. But you know, I just feel like a lot of times they just come up and they just kind of bug. They just want to kind of get their own attention in the wrong way. And they kind of go about it the wrong way in my book. But you know, but maybe coming out here and praying to you, and my dad being probably an angel up there in heaven now. You can maybe we can come out here and just kind of you know put something out. Maybe it will touch someone else too. Do whatever they want. But you know, because there's not no need to uh, carry all that old baggage around. But I just ask for anybody that might be like us, trapped, in a certain situation or something maybe even worse. Maybe do something like this. Maybe even the most sinful of people, even if I'm not the most perfect person, I try to abide by, laws and different things of that nature and do the right things. Of course, a lot of times people can criticize, as we know, but, maybe this will work, you know. But it's kind of the way I did it at the house, so I just thought maybe come out here and do this. But anyway, I'm gonna try to get off here. See if this works. But I ask in your name, God. Amen.